Hey team, want to make a quick tutorial here on our new indicators. So just pull up your chart and go up to the indicator tab. Click on that and go to invite only scripts. You'll see that you have a number of scripts available to you, and there may be updates in the future. But if I do make updates, I'll make them available to anyone who's actively a member of this team here. So we want to add each one of these to our chart. So we go to, again, the indicators, invite only, and you can click each one of these onto your chart, but it's going to create a mess, and that's okay. So what we want to do is go ahead and exit out of that. Go up here and let's turn off the oversold spotter, and we'll turn off, let's see, this one here as well. So the bottom key level spotter. So we're going to turn off the key level spotter and the oversold spotter. Okay, so just by hitting that little I next to each one of them. Now we still have a whole bunch of lines, values, and things going on here. So if we want to get this out of the way, you can just hit that box and that will close that. And if you want to get to those, you can open it as well. So in order for these all to work together, we need to have the volume, which is this top one, stacked on top. And even though it looks like it's on top now, actually this is on top, which is the stock itself. So if you click on this, you'll notice that the colors change. If I zoom in, you guys will see this a little bit easier. So if I click on the volume, you'll see that these change, and that's what we want to see. But if I click off, it turns off as well. And the reason for it is because this is the ticker, or the symbol is actually stacked on top. So to fix this, we just go to the volume here and click on these three dots. Go to visual order, and let's bring this one to the front. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, if I click off of this indicator and onto the chart, you can see now we are staying with those colored candles. And that's what we want to see. So the colored candles, that's going to identify the volume. So for anyone who has this volume indicator, for the pre-market session, I want to see at least a yellow candle, if not a white candle. So that means yellow candle is high volume and a white candle has extremely high volume. It has that breakout momentum type of volume that we love to see. But during the pre-market session, so in this gray area that you guys see on my chart, this is going to be the section that I need to see at least a yellow candle. If we see a green or red candle, here's a red candle, or even a pink candle, which you can see in here, then this is going to tell me that it is lacking the required volume for me to take the trade with my my normal size. So I can still take the trade, but I may want to reduce my size. And this is a great and easy way to identify that volume. So now that we have this indicator layered on top, just by hitting this three dots at the side, go to visual order and bring to front. So make sure it's brought to the front. That will make sure that this stays in the front of our chart, which is exactly what we want to see. And this is going to do a number of things, actually. So this is a baby volume hunter, the major red spotter, and the vertical trend spotter. So what it's going to do is change the color of the candles based on that information. And it's also going to plot these little red flags and these text alerts, which if I zoom in, you'll see that this is saying that this is in a bullish vertical trend. So it's basically spotting one of those major reds that I have to consider before taking my trades. And so it doesn't mean I can't take a trade here, but it means that I would like to reduce my size and tighten up that stop loss, especially here in the pre-market session, as it's one of the conditions that it's basically lacking, right? So we weigh those pros and cons. So that is our volume hunter, and that's how we can get that layered on top, and we'll always see that. So your candles and your chart should look just like mine if, of course, there's volume. If you pull up a chart and you only see green and red candles, it may mean that there's very little volume. So make sure that you check that these three dots go to the side here, visual order, bring to front. And if this becomes annoying, which it can be, double click on this, go to, let's see, down to the style. At the bottom, you can click these off and hit OK. And it just removed that from the chart. So it's not so big and long, which I usually shrink this down afterwards anyway, but just to get that off the chart. That will remove the numbers and values on the side as well. So that is our volume hunter and our major red spotter and all that, that on that indicator. Now we want to make sure that our other lines are stacked on each other as well. So if I scroll on out, you'll go on to the right side And you can see that we have lines and values. And as you zoom in and out, these will move with your chart as well. And if your chart doesn't look like this yet, then what you need to do is right click on this price scale. That's this price scale here that shows these prices. Right click on that price scale and go to scale price chart only. Make sure that that is checked on. Once that's on, it should look just like mine here. But let's see if I go to auto fit. If we go to auto fit and we type in, say, Tesla, then we don't see any lines here. Let's go back to Nexi and see what it does. So it seems like it's okay, but a lot of times it's going to create problems. So make sure you right click, and it looks like it's scale price chart only. So let's go back to auto and turn this one off, and there we go. There we go. So now it looks crazy, right? So if your chart ever looks like this, guys, the way to solve that is go to this price chart or price scale on the side, right click, go to scale price chart only. Make sure that that's on and checked on. Right click, reset, and wouldn't you know, it's all fixed. We're good to go. Now you can shrink and enlarge this these values and each one of these lines by just going up and down on that price chart, and you can grab the chart and move it around as well. So next up, we want to make sure that these lines are stacked on top of each other. And the way that we want to see this is we basically want to see the visual order. We want to see that the white lines are above the purple lines and the purple lines are above the red lines, okay? And right now I don't see any red lines. Oh, there's one up there. So this will be good for the example. So let's go to the top here. Let's go to this top one. The Bullish Bob confirmation strategy, support and resistance, double click. And let's go to the inputs. And we want to make sure that this is the white line. So line color white. Okay, we can verify we are good to go. So we know now this is stacked on top of this because we can see it in this visual order. So we're good to go there. Now I want to make sure that this one is a purple line right below it. And sure enough, it is. And we want to make sure that below that we have the red line in that exact order. And sure enough, we do. So if you don't have that order, the way you can change that is go to these three dots, visual order, and you can bring forward or send backward. Okay. And you don't want to do the bring to front and send it back, because if you bring it to the front, it's going to overlap our volume indicators. So let me show you what happens if I do that. So if I take the white lines and I say bring to front, then what happens when I click off this chart is I believe we lose those the volume indicator, which it doesn't look like it happened. So that's nice to see. Maybe it's just when we have this. Let me see if I have this on top. Visual order, bring to front. Yes, sure enough. So it shouldn't affect it with the lines. So it doesn't matter which order you have those lines in after that. But you just want to make sure that the volume is stacked on top. So just go to your volume, three dots, visual order, bring to front, and voila, we now have our lines and we have our volume candles as well, all mapped out for us. So it's that simple, guys. That is pretty much the settings that you need to have. So price scale, right click, scale to price chart only. Okay, we're good. Go to the volume, hit that three dots and make sure that the volume is stacked on top. So bring to front. Okay, we're good. And that's pretty much it. As long as you have your white line stacked on top of your purple line and your purple line stacked on your red lines, then you have your chart very similar to mine as well. Now we can turn these other indicators on, the oversold spotter, turn that on, and we can see easily on the chart where it's identifying key areas that we may want to keep watch, right? And it's identifying with a label too. And if you don't want to see the label, just go into the style and you can turn off the label just like that. Okay. So now we can see that the background of the chart is being changed. We can see that these indicators are now plotting areas of value real time. And we can also see that we have these lines, levels, and values all together on this chart. So it's automatically plotting our support and our resistance for us. So you don't have to manually do that. And what's great about this is it's extremely accurate, which is the most important part of it. And you can see if I scroll up, we have basically 1,000% or more of levels. So we really don't need to worry. So anytime we just type in a ticker, we'll have it ready to go. So say we had MINM. We just go ahead and sure enough, we have levels. So every time we close over these levels, we're looking at this as a possible bullish signal. So it automatically maps out the support and the resistance. And again, you can see we have 1,000% of levels, if not more. So you have everything's already mapped out for you. Okay. This other one, the key level spotter, I don't typically run this on the same chart as I do with my confirmation, support, and resistance levels. And if I do, I like to manipulate it a little bit. So if I turn this indicator on, you can see that it just provides a whole bunch of levels and things like that. Now, what I like to do, guys, is I actually like to run this on a separate chart. So I like to actually turn these other indicators, basically use them on a separate chart, and I like to use this indicator by itself. So typically I'm looking for this one as a bounce watch. Right now it looks all messed up and together, but this is going to automatically be moving and adjusting with the price and values that we see here, with the value and of course the volume and different conditions as well. So this is going to plot levels, but it's also going to give those text alerts. So it has a lot of functions that we can adapt through here. So if you scroll through, you'll see the user inputs just by double clicking on the indicator itself, and you can turn these on or off. So if I'm just using this in combination with my confirmation, support, and resistance, I may want to shut some of this off or just turn this indicator off altogether and use it on a separate chart. We can use this indicator by itself, or we can combine it by just shutting a few of these off just by checking these boxes. I'll leave the 9 EMA on and the 20 EMA on as well. And we'll turn off the rest just for an example purpose here. And you guys can really mess with this. That's what the point of this indicator is. It has a lot of user inputs. This is a really valuable indicator where it has a lot of different components to it. And it's a really, really cool indicator that's going to help identify key levels and real-time strategy. So turn these off. And let's see, I'll turn most of these off for now. Let's leave the short watch on. And where's the bounce watch? Did I turn that one off? Yes, I did. I'll leave that one on as well. So bounce watch on, short watch is on. Scroll on down and we can see that we have some text alerts on here as well. I want to turn some of these off. So let's turn off the 20 EMA fail. And I think we'll turn off a few of these as well. We'll turn off profit target, buy zone, oversold, and overbought, and we'll just hit OK and see how that looks. So now what that did is it basically eliminated a whole bunch of these alerts, and that's because we don't want it to be too congested, right, if we're trading our chart. Now, if you have this with other indicators, you can do this if you have the right membership with TradingView to run more indicators than the 5 that's with the first standard membership. But you don't really need to. Like I said, you can actually have this on a separate chart. You don't need to run it on this chart, but you can. I like to run it on this chart, but again, it's not necessary. So we can change the size of those labels. Maybe they're too large. Maybe you want them a little bit smaller, just like that, so they don't take up as much room. And now we can easily identify the bullish and bearish signals real time and use that in conjunction with our support and resistance levels, as well as a few of these key level spotter levels by itself. So guys, that is a quick tutorial. I think that's a good breakdown of these indicators. If you're looking to add them, go to indicators, invite only. There's your list of indicators, and there will be more. So stay tuned, guys. If you are an active member of our Discord and an active member of this membership, you will be getting all of these updates, and you will be getting any future projects that I work on. And we actually have one coming out this week, which is pretty cool. So click on these to add them. You can add them to your favorites as well if that makes it easier for you. Go in here, make sure the visual order, we want to make sure that that volume is on top, guys. So go to visual order, bring to front. If it's grayed out like that, then you know it's automatic, it's on. And that's pretty much it, guys. Go over to your price scale, make sure you have the same setting as me, scaled price chart only, and we officially have our support and resistance completely mapped out for us. And you guys know, if you've been trading with me for a while, that for confirmation, this is an absolute game changer and is going to absolutely save us time. So any ticker that we type in will automatically be turned on. Let me turn off the key level spotter for now. And that way it's just a little bit cleaner. And we can now see that any chart that you pull up will now have those levels. Now, this is, of course, a very specific way of marking charts. It's not the only way, but we now have those levels on our chart, and we're ready to go. So say VVOS hits the scanners and starts popping off on us. We now know that we can assess this and say, hey, this is a clean gap. This is a clean gap. This is choppy. This is choppy. Maybe I want to adjust here. Maybe I want to be more aggressive here, depending on, of course, that volume. So if we zoom in, we can easily now identify without even searching for the volume that we don't have any volume because we don't have those yellow or white candles. So guys, I think that's it. I hope this helped. This is a tutorial for our new indicators for our premium indicator team. And if you guys have any questions, I'm always happy to help out. So guys, I'll see you in the chats. Thank you.